Alright, what's up guys? It's Josh Lau here with the Card Guyz, bringing a little bit of unique content here. This is the week 3 of the FAB Team Cup. This is the Card Guyz against the Clout Chasers. This is game number 4. Currently we are ahead 2-1. And as you can see here, I'm playing Boltyn up against Dash. So my general thoughts about this matchup is that I think you need to have a hedging sideboard here. You're going to see that I'm going to select Helm of the Sharp Eye here instead of Halo, because that extra armor is critically important to blocking important on-hit effects like Combustible Courier. You're going to see here I'm going to take out all my no blocks here. I took out Spirit of Arena, Remembrance, Energy Potions, and I'm going to bring in all my D-Reacts here. I'm at 63 right now, thinking about what to cut. I'm going to put that Valued Thrust back in because I noticed that I have some 2 blocks. So I'm going to basically take out all my no blocks, take out all my 2 blocks, and I have exactly 60 here. Basically running the core combo plan plus, you know, the Illuminates, the Route, Soul Shields, Sink Below, Fate Foreseen. Yep, pretty much like that. And the idea here behind this is that if the Dash player is playing more aggressively, in other words, either Talishar Hanabi Blaster Dash, I will be going for a more defensive plan and probably just trying to single Lumina to heal. If they are on the more controlling style of Dash, I will just combo normally. Even though I don't have my Spirit of Arena or my Halo, I can still combo pretty efficiently. So yep, the Dash player won the dice roll, decided to go first, starting with a Tekla Pounder and Hanabi Blaster. And so I know that they are on the aggro boost Dash plan, which I think logically the Dash player has to be on this plan because the other plans are too slow and they just won't get there. Alright, so my opponent obviously sees that I'm playing the Saber combo, so this kind of encourages him to boost pretty aggressively, just to try to get in damage where he can. So he's going to start off with a turn 0 Spark of Genius, grabbing a Tekla Pounder. Excellent start from him. No filter from me, and yep, basically I'm starting at 34. Alright, so clearly with this hand, this is to play Take Flight, probably put the Beacon back into the deck for later. It's too early to combo, especially without Halo. And then Arsenal the Fate Foreseen. So here we go. Of note, I need to pay attention very carefully to what my opponent is boosting, as well as if they are slowing down a little bit, trying to set up big turns. Normally, if they're not boosting an attack, that means they're probably setting up for a max velocity the next turn. So obviously my opponent no blocks the Take Flight and the Saber. It goes down to 34. I Arsenal the Fate Foreseen. Alright, double Pounder activation brings Throttle to 10. So this is just going to be a 2-card block here plus Fate Foreseen. It's very, very important that I do not overblock anything. So if an attack comes in for 2, I'm just going to let it hit me. Unless I get a good sense that that is the end of their turn and I have extra cards sitting around. So from the beginning of the game, I have to decide pretty quickly. So this Sink Below is good. I'm gonna keep that on top. I need to decide very, very quickly the speed at which my opponent is playing, because if he is going fast, which he's incentivized to go fast, I cannot, you know, take a turn to play this Illuminate out. I actually need to block with this Illuminate. Even though normally you're like, well, it's 4 with an on hit and it uses your action point effectively. Letting a single attack come in unblocked just to return damage can cost you the game. So it comes in for 4 here, no boost, which means it's going to arsenal that last card. Disciplined block here for 3, taking 1. Alright, I have nothing to do. Pass it back. Alright, well, thank God for Sink Below, because those combo pieces are getting out of here. So, I have to be very cognizant of what I'm blocking with as well, because if I start blocking with combo pieces, it's very obvious I'm not going for the combo. So here, I get to hide the combo pieces away. And if I block with a Beacon of Victory, it's not that suspicious, especially when I live 1 soul. So here we're going to block for 3 and then double sync, bring it to 11. You never let Combustible Courier hit. This is also why I brought in Helm of the Sharp Eye, because that plus Gallantry Gold allows me to block 2 4-power Combustible Couriers. Alright, here I'm going to decline the sync because this Bolt of Courage is a fine blocker. I don't want to draw like a Soul Shield or combo piece. But actually, okay, so look, okay, so he had, alright, so he's going to grab a Teclicore with a Spark. Okay, sure. And then continue with a Achilles into High-Speed Impact. Yep, okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so that wasn't the end of his turn, so we're just going to block here for 3. And take a damage. And so it is turn 3 at the moment, and I have not done anything except block. So to my opponent, this might become a little bit suspicious. I think here he's deciding whether or not to boost. Looks like he's going to boost so he can play the Hanabi Blaster, which I think is correct here, because this is going to get in 6 damage here. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to drop down to 31 here. He probably can get 3 or 4 of those Hanabi Blaster shots off during the course of the game. If he could get 4 or 5, you know, he'll be in pretty good shape here. All right, Blue Throttle, not really what you want to see from him, but it still comes in for 8 here, costing just a single card because of the Teclicore. So here I'm going to block for 6. Yep, just like that. And I noticed he currently doesn't have an arsenal, so there's, you know, very little threat of something very devastating coming in at the end, like a Pulse Wave Harpoon or a Max Velocity. Alright, this is just coming in for 2. I'm debating whether to let this hit or not. I'm thinking, well, you know, my soul's pretty low. I could probably go Engulfing Light Charge, but looks like I make the more disciplined play here and just block out. Alright, here comes a red T-Bone. Gonna throw the Snaps and the Bolt of Courage in front of this for sure. No boost there. I think if he boosted, he could have got a counter. I'm not exactly sure. I wasn't paying too close attention there. Alright, another turn of just pass draw. And I think at this point my opponent has realized that I'm trying to fatigue him, or at least I have the possibility of fatiguing him. I'm still very open to comboing, obviously, but the stars have to align here. So he's gone through half his deck and only dealt 11 damage to me. He has no items, so he definitely needs to slow down here. And so this Zipper hit was not boosted, so I need to look at my hand here. And, you know, the clear play here is play the Engulfing Light, charging something, so... And here I almost mess up here because I didn't quite notice this didn't have boost until right now. And so I was like, No Achilles, he didn't boost it. Is he playing Razor? Probably not. But that did go through my head, that there was a small chance that this was Razor. So yeah, that's one max velocity there in the boost zone, or the banish zone, so that's good for me there. And I think I lay down a second card here. Just don't want to leak any damage that I don't have to. Especially since none of these are amazing arsenal targets. It's not like you would ever, like, Engulfing Light, Charge Bolt, put V into the arsenal. You'd never do that here. It's, we're not playing Raiden, so. And this is not post-combo. Alright, so we block for 6 here. He's going to put something into Arsenal, probably a max velocity if I had to guess. Generally when they slow down this much, that's because they had a max velocity and they couldn't play it. Or the other two cards were really clunky. I'm not exactly sure why he didn't... I guess he just didn't want to boost because he'd rather preserve his deck, take 3 damage, give me 1 or 2 soul, then, you know, burn two extra cards in his deck, which does make sense. Right. Engulfing Light hits. I go to 3 soul here. I do draw a combo piece here. So the priority of blocking is obviously the right 3 cards here. And I might... So if I lay down the Lumina as a blocking piece, all the alarm balls will go off in my opponent's head, which I think they've already gone off in his head. But now, so I have to like kind of see like how is he adjusting and how does he intend to play this. So this is probably, you know, zipper hit into a card from hand with boost, and then max velocity, probably off the Teklo Heart if I had to guess. Okay, never mind. Okay, just setting up a little bit more, which is good for me. So this means I can actually just, you know, play the Take Flight with no charge, Arsenal the Lumina. Obviously, that's extremely suspicious because you'd only do that if you have a combo piece or a D-React. And so if I ever D-React from Arsenal later, he knows I'm trying to fatigue him. So, yep, get 4 more damage in there. Arsenal the Lumina, so we're ready to go. He is below 30, which does mean that if I combo off, he's going to have to give me cards, which basically will be the end of him here. So if this was a hand with the combo, I would just take the damage here. Of course, there's a little bit of danger here because if he has Pulse Wave Harpoon, which his Arsenal card very well could be Pulse Wave Harpoon, this can get pretty ugly pretty quickly because you take a lot of unnecessary damage for the chance at comboing and then you don't combo. That's kind of a disaster. All right, so a 2 damage attack here. I'm not going to bother blocking that. Remember, we have to be very, very efficient in this matchup. A 1 damage or 2 damage attack here. With boost, here I'm like, there's probably something else coming here, but it feels kind of bad to take, you know, 2 and then take another 2, especially if this is just the end of his turn. So I think I'd throw Courage here. Slightly risky, but like they do have a card that gives -1 to things attacking on the combat chain, but yeah, if he has that, not the end of the world for me, but yeah. All right, so Heart pitching a max velocity into a max velocity, pretty good there. So I know his 19th card there is max velocity. That's going to come around again, and that's his last copy. So his win con there is the 19th card. Got to keep track of that. All right, just another draw pass from me. And thankfully he has a Pounder, so I get good use out of this Soul Shield. Generally, I wouldn't want the Soul Shield because very few things on a non-Pounder turn actually go up this high. But luckily, get a nice clean block here, an extra card into the Soul, although we don't really need it. All right, Zipper hit here. Gonna block with V because we can just play the Express Lightning Raw for more damage. If we kept the V in our deck, we would just be sabering here, and we don't need to keep Vs so aggressively in this matchup. All right, Pulse Wave Harpoon coming in here. And ooh, I have to submit something, so yeah, there we go. All right. So this is going to get thrown onto the combat chain. And yeah, take another 1 damage here. So I'm going to take 5 more damage after this. So I'm going to be at 15, and he has 16 cards left. Throwing the helm there, I'm not exactly sure what my reasoning for that was. I think I was thinking like there's a possibility his next turn is very slow and I actually draw the combo, so might as well try to get a little bit of value. In retrospect, probably I should have threw the gallantry there instead. Right. So yeah, just checking his deck here a little bit. So yeah, as I suspected, this was because once you get really low on cards, the dash will try to really set up for one last big turn. So his turn was literally just Technicore pass there. And he actually disconnected here for a little bit. I had to refresh the client here. But yeah, so if this was a combo turn here, the game would be over. Unfortunately, it is not. So there's actually kind of some decisions to be made here. So I'm considering whether or not to single Lumina combo here, which I think actually I end up making a inefficient play because I kind of got greedy and I wanted to have a full combo. So actually I think the correct play here is Express Lightning, charge, Sink Below, Snap It, Lumina, Courage, swing, 4 swings, right? Probably going to heal 4 life there. And then either Enlightened Strike at the end of that, drawing our card. Because if that's a D-React that we draw off the top, we can put that in Arsenal. It's very nice. And getting 3 extra value from the Courage is really nice because we're likely to heal 3 here. And I think I end up making a pretty poor play here in retrospect. Because I want the full combo, whereas I should have just been satisfied taking a heal for 4 here. Because right now in my mind, I'm like, well, if I play E-Strike, go again, and then charge, and then Lumina, it's not going to get cards from him. So what's the point of that? So the point of this is actually to... another way to do it is like Express Lightning, charge, Bolt of Courage, pitch the E-Strike for the Gallantry Gold, put the Sink Below into the Arsenal. That is actually the probably the most consistent defensive play I could make here, and that's probably the best play here, actually. And that means last turn I actually made a mistake blocking with the Helm instead of the Gallantry Gold. So little inefficiencies here. Yeah. So I think ultimately I decided to go E-Strike, go again into raw Express Lightning, and then keep the Sink Below, which is just it's nowhere near as good as the other play. Yeah. So here I give it E-Strike, go again, and then I'm going to play the Express Lightning raw, which really doesn't do anything. Having the Sink Below in Arsenal and 3 extra life here. I say 3 because the Courage is going to get broken right, or I could use it normally. So, yeah, that would be much more preferable, I think. He would probably armor block one of them, so I'd probably only heal 2 or 3. So, yep. Anyways, still in pretty good shape because he only has 11 cards left. We know that the max velocity is not this turn. It'll be probably 2 turns from now. He still has a Goliath Gauntlet, so that's a little bit scary. There's some odd breakpoints with the Pounder that I need to take into account here. So I think he's just going to take this 4 if I had to guess. Yep. You know, any boost dash is basically not running D-Reacts, so yep. Alright, so we have the combo here, but there's no way in hell that I can keep this with only 16 life plus 1 armor block. See, this throttle is coming in for 10 here. So we're just going to 6 block plus sink the Lumina. Right. We draw a Celestial. That was actually a little bit risky because I could have drawn a Soul Shield. That could have been bad. That's actually something I need to, clean up a little bit there. All right. Just throwing my whole hand down here. I'm going to take 4, and then I'm going to take another 5 here. A little bit scary here. And I think next turn, I'm just going to Lumina, Courage, Swing, which means I'll net 1 health there. So that's, like I said, I could have netted double that if I had, done it properly. Here, I'm still going to hold on to the Gallantry Gold because of the Combustible Courier. So, and I can't even play it even if I wanted to. So here we're going to do the whatever the opposite of a Boomina is. This is it. So Courage, Illumina, no charge. So this is going to be Saber, activate Boltyn, Saber. And luckily we hit a light card there, gain a life, and we hit another light card, gain a life there. All right, so my opponent's down to 5 cards only. And no charges on the Hanabi Blaster means probably never going to get this off again. Yeah, he's never going to get this off again. So we just have to block out from here and we should be good. In terms of action, this is not the most exciting game ever, right? Because I'm just playing defense here. But this is it's important to look at this like from a, strategical mindset instead of a tactical mindset, right? The tactics here are pretty straightforward. You just save your armor for the right on hits, block the combustible couriers, and try to be as efficient as possible. Try to make sure you don't draw Soul Shield at the wrong time. And yeah. But the main thing is being, disciplined throughout the whole game. As you can see here, he did get me to 5. So there was, if I was a little bit greedy, with the Illuminate earlier, or I sank a card and drew a Soul Shield, things could have been really bad. Yeah, anyways, that was the game. So the Card Guyz win the match 3-1. We still have one more game. Nom's game will be coming up soon. So yeah, we advance out of group 6 in first place, and yeah, we'll be on to the round of 16, I believe. All right, so we'll cover that when we cover that. All right, yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you can, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.